at the young age of 28, just days before her first major solo show in Lahore. Amrita Sher-Gil, the brilliant star of Indian modern art, was suddenly struck down by a mysterious illness. After a brief but intense sickness that included convulsions and a coma, she passed away, leaving the art world in shock. Her untimely death remains one of the great unsolved mysteries of art history. Was it a failed medical procedure? Was it something more sinister? Her mother accused her husband, Victor Egan, of murder, but we may never know the truth. Her passing cut short a career that was already legendary, leaving behind a legacy that would forever change the course of Indian art. But to understand the magnitude of this loss, we have to go back to the beginning. Amrita was born in 1913 in Budapest, Hungary, to a Sikh aristocrat and scholar, Amrita Sher-Gil, and a Hungarian Jewish opera singer, Marie-Antoinette Gottesman. She was a child of two worlds, a fusion of East and West that would define her life and her art. From her earliest days, it was clear she was different. Her family recognized her prodigious talent for drawing when she was just a little girl, and they nurtured it. By the age of 8, she was already taking formal art lessons. Her early life was a whirlwind of travel, moving between Hungary, India, and France. This constant movement exposed her to a rich tapestry of cultures, sights, and sounds, all of which would later pour onto her canvases. In 1929, at the age of 16, Amrita and her family moved to Paris, the epicenter of the art world. This was the moment her artistic journey truly began. She enrolled at the prestigious École des Beaux-Arts, where she was mentored by the painter Lucien Simon. Paris was a revelation. She immersed herself in the bohemian lifestyle, frequenting galleries and studying the works of European masters like Paul Cézanne and Paul Gauguin. You can see their influence in her early work: the bold forms, the rich colors, and the focus on human figures. But even as she absorbed these Western techniques, Amrita felt a pull towards her Indian roots. Her letters from this time reveal a growing desire to return to India, a land she felt was her artistic destiny. She achieved remarkable success in Paris. Her 1932 painting, Young Girls, won a gold medal at the Paris Salon, making her the youngest person and the only Asian to ever receive the honor. It was a stunning achievement that put her on the map. But for Amrita, this European recognition wasn't the end goal. It was a stepping stone. She felt an undeniable calling to create art that was authentically Indian, to paint the real people and landscapes of her father's homeland. So, in 1934, she packed her bags and sailed back to India, ready to begin the most important chapter of her artistic life. Upon her return to India, Amrita embarked on a quest to rediscover her heritage. She traveled extensively across the country, from the sun-drenched plains of the south to the majestic mountains of the north. She was fascinated by the Ajanta and Ellora caves, ancient Buddhist murals that deeply influenced her style. She began to shed the European academic techniques she had learned, developing a new visual language that was uniquely her own. Her color palette shifted to earthy tones, rich reds, deep browns, and vibrant ochres. Her subjects were no longer Parisian models, but the everyday people of India, villagers, women in vibrant saris, and pensive men. Paintings like Bride's Toilet and Brahmacharis from this period are masterpieces of her new style. They capture the quiet dignity and profound melancholy of rural Indian life. She painted with an empathy and intimacy that was radical for her time. She saw the women of India not as exotic subjects, but as individuals with complex inner lives. Her famous South Indian trilogy, which includes Bride's Toilet, is a testament to this deep connection. She wasn't just an observer. She was a participant, trying to capture the soul of India on her canvas. She famously said, "I can only paint in India. Europe belongs to Picasso, Matisse, Braque. India belongs only to me." But her journey wasn't easy. The Indian art world at the time was dominated by the Bengal school, which favored mythological themes and a more traditional, ethereal style. Amrita's bold, modern, and often somber paintings were met with confusion and criticism. Some found her work too Western, while others found it too raw and unique. She was an outsider, a woman challenging the established norms of a male-dominated field. But Amrita was fiercely independent and unapologetically herself. She continued to paint with conviction, confident in her unique vision. She believed her art could be a bridge between the ancient traditions of Indian art and the modern sensibilities of the 20th century. Beyond her art, Amrita herself was a fascinating figure. She was beautiful, intelligent, and lived life on her own terms. She defied the conventions of her time, engaging in numerous love affairs and speaking her mind freely. Her personal letters reveal a passionate and complex woman, constantly searching for connection and meaning. In 1938, she married her Hungarian first cousin, Dr. Viktor Egan, and they eventually settled in a village in Uttar Pradesh. Life in rural India was isolating, but it also provided the solitude she needed to create some of her most powerful works. Paintings from this era, like The Swing and Woman on a Charpoy, show a mature artist at the peak of her powers, blending Western composition with Indian soul. Just as she was gaining wider recognition and planning a major solo exhibition that would solidify her status as India's foremost modern artist, tragedy struck. In December 1941, in Lahore, she fell gravely ill. The vibrant, rebellious, an immensely talented artist who had blazed a trail for generations to come was gone in a matter of days. Her death was a devastating blow, a flame extinguished far too soon. Her parents cremated her on the banks of the river Ravi, scattering the ashes of a woman who had given so much to the world in such a short time. Today, Amrita Sher-Gil is celebrated as a national treasure in India. She is often called India's Frida Kahlo, trailblazing female artist who broke barriers and created a body of work that was deeply personal, yet universally resonant. Her paintings, which she declared would not be appreciated until long after her death, now sell for millions and are housed in the National Gallery of Modern Art in New Delhi. She left behind only about 174 documented paintings, but each one is a testament to her genius. She forged a new path for Indian art, inspiring countless artists to look to their own culture for inspiration. She proved that modern art could be both global in its technique and deeply local in its spirit. Her life was a brilliant, intense, and tragically short story, but her legacy is immortal. Amrita Sher-Gil is one of many incredible artists who have been overlooked by mainstream art history. Their stories deserve to be told. If you believe in bringing these hidden figures into the light, please support this channel. Like this video, subscribe for more stories, and share it with someone who loves art and history. Your support makes this work possible. Thank you for watching.